What's up, Buck fans? This is the Bucs Report pregame show on 102.9 The Aftermath Game, Broad Street South Radio. Let's get ready to break it down for this Buffalo Bills game. Stay tuned, fellas. And
we did practice well.
What's going on, everybody? This is
we did practice well. I practiced hard. Everything looked like it clicked in practice this week. We had 3 good days of practice. He had a good week of practice. He had a good couple weeks. He's practicing good. We like the way he comes to practice every day. We'll have a good practice tomorrow. He's been practicing great. He's 2 weeks in a row now, as well as some good practices as well. So he had a good week of practice. Ron practiced well last week, and I thought he's been practicing well right now, so they have a good week of practice. They always practice hard.
Yeah, as you guys can see, there's always some good practicing going on. And again, courtesy of OCP Designs. So thank you for that. As you can see, let's just hope that that practice reflects on the field. But again, welcome again to the Bucs Report pregame, the aftermath on 102.9 Game Broad Street Radio. It's one of your co-hosts, AJ Turnup. Got my man right here, Coach Slick, the British guy who's always fly and on standby. Y'all doing all right? It's Thirsty Thursday. That means the Bucs are also in thirst of a win to stop this bleeding. But what's up, Slick? How you doing?
Well, we're still in 500. This is a must-win game for the sheer fact that you don't want to be trying to climb the ladder. You want to be on the ladder and with it, So you don't want to allow the Falcons to have a 2-game streak, because otherwise you're praying that they lose. Well, I mean, we're praying they lose anyway. It's just back to life, right?
That's right.
But you don't want to have to rely on other results to try and get you there. And we're in that situation kind of now, because obviously, but we get a chance to right that wrong when we face them again, and that's fine.
That's right.
What's weird about this team is we seem to play better away. Maybe they like sleeping in hotels. I don't know.
It could be, or it could just be a thing of urgency. Right now, it seems that if I'm Baker should be feeling like his back is against the wall, because this is a do or die moment. I'd say this: Baker comes out and lay an egg, and he's awful. He's creating turnovers, and he's just making worse decisions this time. All he's going to do now at this point is get the Kyle Trask mob involved, and also then put some pressure on Bowles, because if Bowles decides to pull the trigger and pull the plug, on Baker, that could make Bowles look bad. That could be his job, just in case, because at this point you're just telling everybody, yeah, I'm desperate. So at this point, the Buccaneers have to find a way to stop the bleeding within their team, because they're a talented team. But at the same time, this goes back to the coaching staff. What are you willing to do? Are you going to play the players, or are you going to play the system that has been constantly killing you?
I mean, we're looking at an offense that just can't score right now. That's just a straight up fact. There's no one put barely any numbers in the last 2 weeks, so that needs to be fixed. And we don't want to hear about, oh, we're trying to do this and we're trying to do this and we're trying to do it and practice. Great, fantastic. I'm glad it works in practice, but now we need to see it when the lights are on. We need to see it. It doesn't matter how good you are in practice. You can be a Super Bowl team. It don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It matters when you actually put up and shut up. So we got to put up some numbers, and we got to get back into this thing. It's not like, I'd say that, we put out articles saying that it's a bit of a panic mode, or which is time to press the panic button. Not yet, but it's getting close. We're really on the cusp of it. I think the panic button is if you see what the Glazers do on the trade deadline. The panic button will be the potential change to Trask at quarterback, just to see what he could do, because that's when you're really kind of running out of ideas. That's a coaching staff that's run out of ideas, going, what we thought was going to work ain't working, so we need to go try and find it. But what's a new plan B? We got to find a plan C and a plan D, because plan A and B are fucked.
Yes, they are. I actually hope that the Buccaneers team, the Atlanta thing is a sour taste. That's why people are panicking, and dude is about to come in and break it down. Come on, dude. Show it. Give us your press. We got a dude who ain't scared to being rude. What's up?
What the hell's going on?
That's what we're trying. That's what
It's
we're
game
trying.
day, baby.
Yeah.
Well, if it's game day, then we are definitely on 102.9 The Game, Broad Street South. Streaming
Yes, sir.
loud and proud and obnoxious as hell. Now here we are, 3-3 heading into Buffalo. Bills Mafia. I'm looking at you. You can't put me through a table. I'm too big for that. Baker, Josh Allen. A story of two quarterbacks looking to play hero ball, and we need them both to play within themselves and have a good game. Buccaneers fans, we've got the inactive list coming up here in about 10, 15 minutes. We've got James Canada from Big Game, James Entertainment, and Carter Brantley from Creative Loping, Bucs Report, and somewhere else. Oh, the RBLR Bucs Podcast, the Rebler Bucs Podcast. So, before we go any farther, I want to pay some bills. You mind if I pay a bill?
Pay a bill. We all want to
pay a bill. Hey,
let's do this.
When you kick off your day with Dunkin', we're with you all the way to the end zone with a dozen delicious raise the flag donuts sprinkled with your team's colors and a perfectly brewed coffee. Make a run to Dunkin', official coffee run of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, real quick, I'll get off here because the real talent's right above me here on the screen. Bucs fans, this is must win. That's all there is to it. That's not hyperbole. That's just looking at the landscape ahead, man. It don't get any easier from this. Buffalo's got a little revenge on the mind. They remember Brashard Perryman streaking down the sideline at Ray J to end their little game against us a couple years back. So dig in, Bucs fans. It could be a long night. It could be a good night. It could be a bad night. But by the end of tonight, we're going to have a better idea, I believe, whether the Buccaneers are going to be buying or selling at the NFL trade deadline. Now, with that said, gentlemen, I'm going to turn it back to you because I am rude. I am crude. But, you know, I'm also the dude who's lazy. So, thank you. Again, 102.9 The Game, Broad Street South. If you don't know about it, check our page out. Check him out. Angel Martinez on Twitter. He'll clue you in. We know Big Game James is going to be on there starting soon. We got a lot of guys from Dan Holme and the Bucs Minutecast on there, as well as some national people named Tony Bruno. You guys just go look at the website, dude. I haven't got time for this. Hey, I'm out again. Run on Dunkin' Donuts. Like, share, subscribe. Buccaneers by one. Book it.
Bam, there it is. And
that's what we need.
That's what he needs. And again, to reiterate, dude is right. This is a must win. This is do or die because you don't want to go into this. I keep telling everybody, I know a lot of people say forget about the Atlanta game. I don't want you to forget the Atlanta game. I hope the Bucs did not forget that game because that was a game that they should have won. If the Bucs win that game, the Buc fans are not worried about this game. One, that was a divisional game. That was a more important win than this win. So if the Bucs take care of business in Atlanta and they lose tonight, but they lose in a good way, I don't think Buc fans would be that much upset. It's just you lost to a team that you were supposed to be. You were supposed to be the better team. You were the better team, but you played low to the competition, and then you played yourselves by doing a formula that does not work. And the decision-making was bad on both sides of the ball, defensively and offensively. Offensively, it was atrocious due to the fact that they knew what you were going to do and you did it anyway. I felt Byron Leftwich-esque energy, and I didn't like it. That I literally was like, I had PTSD, like, damn it, I thought we got rid of this guy. Canales. The shit about it's just
pull the mask off.
Right. There he is. This is like the Scooby Gang. Look here, guys. This is the true villain. And I would have gotten away if it wasn't for you meddling Buc fans. And that's exactly what he did. So, Canales, cut the shit. It's okay to go all out. This is your first year. If you guess, nobody's going to care. The Buc fans will actually respect you. The best play calling you did was in the fucking preseason, and that was against the Ravens. Where is that Canales? We want that Canales.
I mean, the play calling in the games that we won was decent. I mean, you could argue that some of we just saw better things, especially in the preseason. The preseason was loaded with lots of, I wouldn't say outlandish, but very different structure to what we're seeing right now. And that's disappointing for it not to leak into the and there were successful plays on it. It's not like they were like, don't get me wrong, if they were like really creative plays that just weren't coming off and they're not using them now, maybe they're not ready yet, that kind of thing. But these plays worked in a preseason game. These plays worked here and there. So sprinkle them in, see what they do. This is maybe that's the time to do on your third down, but you need to start. He needs to figure out how to make the second down more manageable, because you don't want to be chasing your downs.
Which means
because then you can't afford to have Baker make any mistakes, and that's the problem. You run it twice, and you're going to go, okay, Baker, now you're going to throw it, but he's got a 3rd and 8. It's not that simple. It's not always that easy, and it's a high percent. It's a low percent. The further you got to go, the odds are less in your favor, right? Especially depending on the coverage and what have you. I mean, we can argue that we're not that very good at it, but the point being is we need to get better at making 3rd down more manageable. And I never say can the run game, because you need the run game. The run game has to exist. It's in everyone's staple. But you do have other available players. You have a fast guy with a high motor that you can run a sweep with. You can run a counter behind that sweep. You can run a counter off the top of that sweep. So the sweep's no longer there. He's now a piece of window dressing, and now you can counter off it, or you can run a run play off it, because you're just showing the same thing 3 or 4 times, but it's a different person getting the ball. It's just little intricacies that we need to play around with. Okay, yeah, I get that the high percentage of running the ball is down the middle, but when the middle of your line is struggling, you need to find a different way. Do you need to go to 2 kings and you have no, it's more like you end up with 2 guys lined up behind the tackles.
Yes,
as your halfback. So they then charge into the middle to create almost like a funnel for them to run through. Those are the kinds of things. Okay, they might know it's an obvious running down, maybe, but then you dress it up with some motion. You can motion a guy out. You can motion a guy here. There's so many different things you can do than just play static stuff. I love it. For me, the best thing that can happen when I'm a defensive coordinator is when a team just lines up and plays, because I've got no stress. I've got no one. There's less mistakes that can be made at this point, because I always find the line of scrimmage, the more dialed in your players are, the more success you're going to get from the play. So when you start putting chaos in by a bit of motion here, and then the motion turns away, you have that motion that comes across as he gets throughout the middle of as he's about to get to the middle of the line where the ball should be snapped. He doesn't. He goes back out. Now you've got a guy who's going, I know where he's going, and he's screaming across. You've made him commit to you've made him commit to the motion, and then he peels back out. That's the kind of stuff I want to see, that clever, smart football that we were expecting to see from Dave Canales. The way he sold us this team and this football that he was going to give us was going to be smart. We're going to be decisive. We're going to be creative. You're not going to just see like a bludgeon it up the middle, and that's kind of what we've seen. And we don't have the personnel for bludgeon up the middle.
You don't have a Fournette anymore. You don't have a big bodied guy. You're right, but I want Canales again. This goes back to playing my philosophy and coaching, and it's done me well, especially when it comes to training these guys. I don't give a damn about your scheme. I go by can this player even implement what you're putting him to do? You just said it. Rachaad White is not in between the tackles. Let's get some tosses with him. He's good at getting open field, and he can make you miss. Why not?
I'll go for you. Quarterback option.
Quarterback option. I agreed.
Because you've got a guy with some wheels.
Yep.
And then he just goes, pops the ball off.
Exactly.
I'm not saying do it every single play. I want Bucs fans. This isn't me saying we're going to have an entire option part of our offense, but it's a dent to sprinkle in to make maybe first down a bit more. Oh, Booker needs to try this, or your run game's not working, so let's try something different in the run within the structure of our run game. There's always something we can do.
Yeah, hey guys, Slick just said it. That running back option with that quarterback option would have been, the best time that would have happened against the Falcons game, when the Bucs got the ball back at their goal line against Ritter, when he fumbled and Yaya picked it up It was a third down when they ran to the right. If Baker literally holds that ball and runs to the right side, Slick, that's a 40-yard run. Did you see the entire Falcons line, their entire box? They ran to the left side because they knew where the Bucs were. A quarterback option would have devastated that team.
Absolutely, and it's like you can set it up in the pass as well. So we know our guys can pass block. So what about draw plays?
Yes.
Callback draws, HB draws. I'm not saying you change the entire offense and it's got to be draw plays because we can pass protect. Absolutely, we know you can't do that. That's completely unfounded. But you can sprinkle it in. So you run you run 15 run plays. 5 of those run plays are draw plays.
Exactly. Agreed. It's more than that. They have to stop being so damn obvious. Canales has become obvious. Sometimes put Palmer in where if you're going to do a play action and bomb it deep. Sometimes put other people in because when you don't do that, that's like you said, Atlanta knew everything that we were going to do. Canales.
I think because we've shown it in the last couple of games. I would say the first. I think this is the scheme that people have keyed onto. So now you've got to change it up a little bit. Now you've got to put something in there that they've not seen or change your script, so to speak. So your script is what you've got, right? Your script has to change, and it can't be the same combination of plays. It also can't be the same personnel of plays and formations of plays because obviously they're like, oh, in this they always run that. Because that's what they know what to expect. So you either have 5 different run plays. You have 5 different run plays that are all let's say, run up the middle, but they all look completely different in structure. One has 4 wideouts completely stretched out as a true spread. The next one is trips. If you want to be fucking crazy, run a empty motion sweep.
Oh, I got some.
No one's expecting run. No one's expecting run.
Yeah, and I got something for you. If Canales, if you really want to be nitty gritty about the run and you want to commit to it, put 2 backs in. That will confuse the fuck out of a team. Put Edmonds and White in there. So if there's one running play, it goes to Edmonds like he's a fullback, or it puts them in a position where you can toss it to White. We just said it, creativity. If you got those 2 guys in there, it could confuse the defense. The defense might go, well, shit, we don't know what this guy might actually do because I tell you, with the interior, if they run it to the left side and they use Edmonds as like the fullback in that situation, that might give you that solid 4 to 5 yards that you're looking for. And then with those 2 backs in there, then you could they need to start throwing more to the flats, to the running backs. That's where Rachaad White can come in and kill. You have to just be creative.
You know what helps the flats? Have a outbreaking route from your wide receiver. You can't defend everyone in the flat.
Exactly.
He's going to have to pick. And who do you normally pick? You pick the deepest option because that's the one that's going to hurt you the least. So you got a guy on a corner route. He's going to drift up with him, which is going to create the space, which means you're going to have to rely on a linebacker to come out, peel out, and pick up the cat. And that's fine. No worries. You should expect someone like Rachaad White to win. And again, Bucs fans, we're not saying do this every play. It's a wrinkle. It's this. It's just a counterpunch. It's a new jab. I do believe we've got some guests ready to pop in there.
Yes, let's do this. Let's bring them on.
Let's go with Carter Brantley.
Carter. Hey, Carter, what's up? How you doing today, sir?
Yeah, I'm all right. How about y'all?
We're doing good. It's good to see you have a smile. I know you were not smiling during that Atlanta game, so it's all right. But first of all, again, welcome. And I just want to know off the top, describe one word how you feel about the Atlanta game and now the game and then this Bills game.
Concerned. Yeah, the Falcons game was rough. They looked really, really bad. Obviously, the running game continues to be a problem. I know y'all were just talking about it. I don't know what the solution is there. I know y'all talked about maybe some ways to mix it up game plan wise or scheme wise. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be really hard moving forward. And yeah, the Bills are really good. They just lost in embarrassing fashion to the Patriots, a really bad team. So I think they're going to be pretty pissed. So yeah, concern. That's my main word of the day. So just yeah, I don't know what to say other than that.
No, you're fine. I'm the same. I was actually distraught for the Atlanta game.
Ooh, distraught.
Distraught. It was distraught. It was pitiful with the false calls, and the refs were having a flag day, so it was just ridiculous.
Black Friday.
Yeah, on both sides. But this game right here, what gives me hope is you are right. The Bills are a dangerous team, but they are still a very vulnerable team. This is a team where it can go either way. If shit doesn't go good for them, Carter, in the beginning, that's where you might see the Stephon Diggs pulling a Brady, throwing his tablet. This is where if Josh Allen plays hero too soon, this is the right defense for Josh. Because if he messes up, it's over. It's going to be up to Bowles. Now, I want to ask you this, Carter. In your opinion, let's just say if Bowles decides, you know what, instead of playing that chess match that Slick always eloquently puts, I just want to see the routes. What do you think if Bowles says, the hell with this? I'm going balls to the wall. I'm going to be aggressive, and I want to see you beat my guys, and we're going to play hard man coverage, and we're going to blitz more. How do you think that reaction would be? How do you think that would fare against this team?
I think it would be interesting for sure. I know Stephon Diggs, one of the elite wide receivers in the NFL, but Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, he is not. So I don't know that he would be able to just, blow by guys and just get that burst off the line of scrimmage that some of the elite speedsters have. Because, you saw that a few years ago with Carlton Davis. Unfortunately, he's not that kind of guy. He got torched by Tyreek Hill. And of course, it's Tyreek Hill. I don't want to. But so if he's playing a physical wide receiver, I think he's matched up a little bit better. And I'd love to see them blitz a little bit more. It seems like sometimes they do kind of play it safe defensively, but then again, they've also had a fair amount of success this season with that, kind of way of thinking. The defense is not the issue. So I don't know. It's kind of a hard, delicate balance. You want to mix things up, especially against a better team in the Bills. You're the underdog. You kind of got to play aggressive to win, but at the same time, why go away from what's worked in the past? So I don't know. It's certainly an interesting concept for sure.
I can dig it. And we got another guest on here. We got the big BGJ. We got James Canada in the house. How are you doing today, sir? Thank you for joining us.
Hey, what's happening, guys? Thanks for having me. I hope I'm not froze too much. My computer's going bonkers over here.
No, you're fine.
Now you're good.
Right. Look, like the Bucs, they went bonkers. I want to ask you this, and I know we're going back to the Atlanta game. I know people think it's over, but damn it, because we had a good conversation the last Bucs pregame. What is your disappointment level from 1 to 10 on the defensive side? Because I say that, James, because everybody expressed that they thought the Bucs defense was going to be the big factor of taking over this game against the Falcons. What was your level of disappointment if you had to rank it from 1 to 10 for the defense?
Honestly, I wasn't very disappointed over the long haul because we look at how long the defense was on the field and what they had to do, and to still lose by 3 and keep them under 20 points. It's your defense can only sustain so much. Your offense has got to sustain drives to keep your defense off the field. We didn't help ourselves with penalties, so I really don't fault the defense for this game. As crazy as that may sound to a lot of people watching this and who watched that game Sunday, you would think they want to dominate more. Now, okay, I will say a 5 when it comes to our run defense, because I believe Atlanta had a lot more success running the ball than I think I want to give Tyler Algier credit for, especially with Bijan Robinson being sick, not playing. That was the person we thought that could hurt us that we talked about in the pregame. And Algier just looked like an all-pro all of a sudden on some of these carries. And I was like, where the hell did this come from? And how are we missing on these run fits?
No, I understand. And the reason why I bring that up, Candy, because you played under the Dungy regime. I'm sure under that regime, he put a lot more stress on the Bucs defense because I guess he, in a way, he probably knew my offense can't get it done. That's the way that I feel about Bowles at this moment. This offense is going through their growing pains. Canales is it takes time. I don't understand. And I'm sorry, James, this is me. If you're scared of getting beat deep all the damn time, that's punk coaching. You are basically telling me you don't believe in your players. Why the hell Carlton Davis had no business on Scotty Miller on that play in cushion coverage. That was just silly. Like,
yeah.
What is the? I don't understand. Is he scared that they're gonna get beat every single play if they play man and bump these guys?
I
don't know.
I like that. Sorry, yeah.
But at some point in time, you're right. If you got to be physical. You got to let your cornerbacks earn their money. You got to put a hand in somebody's chest. You can't give them that much cushion. Let them beat you and earn the respect that you give them.
Absolutely. I would also reiterate the point. They probably didn't know Scotty Miller was in until like the last second, because he's an in and out guy. He's not going to be a guy that's going to be constantly in. That, you know, we didn't use him in that way at all. So he could have just appeared on that, and he was just taking that guy at the time. So wouldn't necessarily. It could have just been a mismatch that was not drawn up as it's supposed to, because they weren't expecting Scotty Miller to be there at that point in time. Because you got to remember, the subs come in, you do your huddle, they do their huddle. Clap, everyone goes into their spot. The play's already called at that point, you know, so you can't. I don't think they can script before he goes onto the field and go, "Oh, Scotty Miller's going on. We got to make sure we do this, and this." I don't think it works quite like that. So I think it was just a mismatch. Didn't hear from him ever again in the rest of the game. So I think it was just one and done. So I think it was just unlucky. But they need to address that going forward. If they know that they're going up against a speedster, then there should be an adjustment for it.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, Carter, what is your main issue that you have with Canales? You have to. I'm putting you on the spot. What is it? If you were in his face right now, you'd say, Canales, this is what I need you to do. What would you tell him?
Oh man, that's a tough one, because I don't know how much I can really put on Canales. I guess I do miss the motion. It seemed like they were incorporating motion a little bit into the offense. They were kind of flirting with it, you know, kind of teasing, and now they've kind of gone away from it. And I get confused by that, because that's a modern part of NFL offenses. You know, the Bucs, but this isn't Byron Leftwich. You know, we don't want to watch this same archaic early 2000s offense where it's just, you know, predicated on execution and guys going out there and doing the best job. I don't know. I miss that a lot. But at the same time, you can't really account for, you know, this running game being as putrid as it's been. You know, if you're going to, I don't know. It's a tough thing. I think it's definitely a 50-50 blame. So I'm not going to get, I don't know if I saw Dave Canales, if I'd get all up in his face and get all pissed. But I definitely wouldn't exactly be like, hey man, you're the best OC in the NFL, you know, because he went from getting potential NFL head coaching job interviews like a few weeks ago. Everyone was like, oh man, Dave Canales, hot name. And like, now it's like, let's ease up a little bit. He's still a first year OC. So yeah, I don't know. I'd love to meet the guy. Seems like a good dude, though. You know, all of his tweets are always super positive and everything. So, you know, I don't know.
I don't deal with players. I don't deal with coaches nor players when all they do is positive. I know being silent is one thing, but damn it, you got to be real. Because I want to ask you guys about this. Did y'all see when Baker said? Now he said something I already knew. He's like, well, you know, maybe we're not a run first team. It's like, no shit, man. You pass, man. You have to take advantage. Now I want to ask you this, because I want to, James, why do people think when if you just all of a sudden you go to the pass that the defense is just going to the defense opponents are just going to magically stop everything? That's not how football works. You know this, James. You've probably been in certain games where it's like, damn, I wish they would stop passing because they're killing us.
Well, it depends on how they scheme it, because you can use certain parts of your pass game to be just as effective as a mid-range run game, you know, with your screen passes, tunnel screens, running back screens, things of that nature. You have to mix it up. I think if you worry about offensive line play is normally where it comes in for I don't want to just sit back and pass all day, because these guys are going to pin their ears back and they might start killing us. So I think that's where some fans get worried about it, where they say, man, well, our offensive line won't hold up. But believe it or not, we protected pretty well. Baker has had time to make plays and throw the ball. And if you can't run the ball, then yes, you're going to have to pass a little bit more. But it's also hard at the NFL level to be a one-sided team, because then it gives defensive coordinators a little bit more in their toolbox they can go to try to make it that much harder on your quarterback. The thing for me is, even on that last series, I think Baker can tuck it and run to get us in better field position to help finish that drive a lot better. And we said that in the pregame last week. He needs to utilize his legs a little bit more, especially if we are passing a lot. They're starting to drop 8 cover. take off and go. Scramble, run with your quarterback. You have to do something to be creative to open things up. And it's been, man, I tell you, I think I finished the whole bottle during that last game because it was tough to watch.
No, I understand completely, James. Look, if the Bucs need to listen to me, Canales, listen to me. I'm talking to you right now, and I got a former NFL guy here. You listen. This is what you need to get this offense established. You need to get more bootlegs. Slick said it. More QB options. James just said it. Use his legs. When defenses don't pay attention to him, you have to make them pay for it. And then the most important thing, get them damn crossing routes going. That's the key, the crossing routes. James, I'm telling you, when Bo said that he doesn't have a number 3 receiver like solid, I was pissed. I'm like, Bose, are you out of your mind? Palmer is that guy.
Yeah, Palmer's showing he can be that dude. I believe
he is that dude. It's just Canales is not using him right. He doesn't have to just be a deep threat. A crossing route with his speed. Look, put it this way. We know the Bills' number 1 man right now is Milano, but he's injury prone. Right now, I would say tonight you attack the rest of those damn linebackers. Is there any linebacker that you see right now, James, besides Milano on the Bills tonight that you're like, he can be a problem?
Man, the Bills are so inconsistent. Honestly, I mean, you see them play one week and you're like, "Oh Lord, they are awesome." You see them play another week, you're like, "What the hell is wrong with this defense?" Even with Ed Oliver up front, you never know what you're gonna get sometimes, and how they play. No, I think it's something that can be exposed, and that's where your favorite route could, if those linebackers aren't up to par to do what they need to do. But no, I don't think Buffalo has a lot of guys that just scare you, especially seeing the way that they've been inconsistent this whole season.
There it is. Now, Carter, I want to ask you this: the same thing. If you had to go in there, am I on to something with these crossing routes, or is it as Byron would say, this isn't Madden?
I mean, I see where they're coming from, but I love the way they use Devin Tompkins, and I wish they'd use Trey Palmer more like that sometimes in the kind of gadget plays. Because Palmer, I feel like Palmer's just as speedy and just as dynamic as Tompkins. Not to poo-poo on Tompkins, he seems like a really fun player. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird that they don't seem to incorporate Palmer's athleticism in this offense. And I know that he was a late round pick, so it's tough to depend on a late round pick for production. But shoot, they've depended on Christian Eisen to be that slot nickel guy, and he's doing great. I don't know. I definitely wish they would incorporate Palmer into the offense more, regardless of whether it's crossing routes, drags, little jet sweeps, whatever it is. I wish I could see more of him in the offense other than just Baker Mayfield overthrowing him 2 or 3 times a game. So, I don't know. I'd love to see that.
Amen. Somebody just said this, and I hope this is crazy. Von Miller is suiting up tonight, but Milano is on IR. I need somebody.
Yes, remember he hurt that knee over in London. I see Dawson Knox on IR. I'm gonna look at the full injury report, but I think Milano was. I thought he was ruled out too a couple weeks ago after he had the injury on the turf over there. Pulling it up now.
Yeah, in London, I think he got down in London. Ooh, yeah, him and Tre'Davious White, I think, are on the IR.
This could be a problem. I'm not gonna lie, guys, and James, you and Carter.
Milano's on IR.
Yeah, and Ed Oliver's questionable. I don't know how.
Ed Oliver's questionable. That's good for us if he's not 100%.
Yeah, but Von Miller gives me PTSD just because of what he did to us single-handedly 2 years ago in the divisional playoffs against when Brady was here. Von Miller I tell everybody, Von Miller is the reason why he should have been the MVP of that team. He is the reason why they won that damn Super Bowl, but I won't go off topic. But okay, if Milano's not in there, again, now James, I look at it like this. I play the players, not the scheme. If the Bucs now the defense, I give them a hard time just because I expect greatness from them because they are great. But with the offense, you guys are right. They have to get something going. Now, we just talked about it. Get Palmer in there. Tompkins is good. We're not knocking Tompkins, but Carter, we got to be real. Tompkins, sometimes he got little boy energy. That fumble was so unnecessary. He's basically my height, but he ain't even my size. I'm a solid 225 of muscle. He's like 180 something. He had no business trying to out-juke a 255-pound linebacker. You need to fall your ass to the ground. I like that Bo said that. Fall to the ground, man. But Palmer is not just a one-dimensional guy. We see he can catch in traffic. He can maneuver. You have to do that. And also maneuver your players. I think they should start targeting Godwin more when they get to the red zone, because Godwin is a good yak man. He could break tackles and get through there.
That's what I thought we needed on that third down when we were deep in their half to finish to cap off the game. I was like, we've got 4 guys running into the end zone, not one person playing underneath, just to see if we can catch the ball and drive and punch it in, because everyone just sat in the end zone. I know someone's going to come down. You make one guy miss, and even if you don't get it, you're still going to kick the field goal anyway. So try something. You can't just send 4 or 5 guys into the end zone and expect it. It's the easiest to defend ever. It's much easier to defend, especially in zone coverage. Everyone's coverages are all kind of mixed together now. You've got safeties that don't have to move. They've just got to flip from side to side. You've got other guys that literally only have to take a 2-step drop. So it becomes easier. It's always easier to defend the shorter field than it is the longer field, because the longer the field is, it's indefinite until you get into the end zone, right? So that's how you got to look at it. It's things like that where I think we could just miss that little piece where, and isn't it sad to know that Chris Godwin still doesn't have a touchdown and we're about to go into game 7?
Yeah, it's disgusting. It's super disgusting. It's damn near blasphemous, guys. James, we know this, and Carter, we know Godwin is that guy. But here's another player that, if they do it right, because I saw this man misused, and that's abuse. Why the hell is Otten doing out routes? That man kills in the middle. Stop making him do this and let him go in against them linebackers. He has the size. Now, I just want to ask you, Carter, I'll start with you. Why is it that they utilize him that way? He has enough speed, but he's not Kelsey. Why not have him take advantage in the middle? Because it seems like the Bucs never want to go attack the middle. What is wrong with this offense and they're like damn near like just not going for the middle?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it seems like maybe it's a fear thing, because Baker's had the turnover bug. Like any quarterback, he can be a bit interception prone sometimes. So maybe they're a little concerned about that. Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange, because I'm with you. Like, you see it all the time. They aren't really working the middle of the field very much, and it's a bit disappointing. And yeah, incorporating Cade Otton more into the offense over the middle is definitely something I'd love to see, because it feels like every time they hit him out there, it seems like it's successful. So yeah, I don't know. But then again, you see Baker try to push it over the middle and try to do those types of things. And I've seen him make some really silly mistakes and really silly throws over the middle that honestly should be interceptions. I feel like his interception total is way lower than it should be, which thank goodness. But at the same time, like, oh man, it's kind of like in baseball. If you're getting drilled, guy hits a 110-mile-an-hour line drive that's caught, that thing's going to turn into a base hit eventually. So yeah, I don't know. It's a bit tough to watch sometimes. So it's kind of a balance.
Gotcha. James, what do you say on this? Are they misusing the offensive weapons or not?
Yeah, and I think some of that comes down to the what's the word I want to use? The inexperience of Canal. Mm-hmm. And I believe that he has an idea, a way he wants to do things, but he's got to get that comfort level and believe in what he can utilize to help the offense work better. And Cade Otton, I believe, can be a household name at the tight end position if used right. He's shown that he can block. He shows that he can catch. He's good at getting open. But right now it's either the system or the players didn't believe in. The out route sometimes is the easier, safer throw for your quarterback to make. So yeah, that's what they're doing. Carter just said that the interception that Baker had, the number is low. I mean, I know a lot of people have been surprised throughout these games that, he hadn't been beyond horrible or been, beyond careless with the ball. But a lot of that is the routes that the receivers are running and the plays that they're calling to throw it in safe spaces. Right now, we're getting to a point where we're going to have to start taking some chances, because being safe isn't getting us enough points to win games. Because, when is the last time you heard if you said, man, if we score 20 points, we win a game? And it's looking like that right now. Like, we can just get 20 points, we can come out victorious. So like we have got,
I just won 20 points.
So just give me 20 points, we win. And so we've got to start taking chances. And that's going to have to come from the play calling to change the routes that we run and utilize the tight. You can't tell me with Mike Evans, Godwin, Palmer, and Otten at tight end, you can't find some kind of pattern or scheme in that route tree to find a hole in the zone or one of them that can go and beat someone man to man, it has to happen.
Amen. I hear you. And Carter, I know we're gonna get ready to get you off because you got to get ready to rock and roll. But let me just ask you this: your final words for tonight. What message do you want to send to this Bucs team?
Oh man, just play more excited. They looked kind of dull on Sunday. They looked really, really bored. I mean, it was just kind of because I was in the press box for that game, and it was almost kind of a comically silly game. Just very whimsical. Just 18 penalties. Like the Falcons turned the ball over 3 times in the red zone, and the Bucs didn't take advantage of any of it. They just looked kind of bored out there, like they were just kind of going through the motions. So I don't know. It's like, this is a game, man. It's supposed to be fun. Like, I know I'm having fun watching it because, it's stupid. I'm sitting here on the couch with my lazy ass and just watching some football. So, have some fun with it. I don't know. Just get excited. Play a little bit more loose. It feels like they're playing more like they're afraid to lose than they're, trying to win. So it's been kind of discouraging recently for sure. So that's probably my number one message is, play a little bit more loose. Like, it's a game, like, good Lord, it's not rocket science. This ain't surgery. Like, no one's life is on the line. If the Bucs lose this week, it's going to suck. But shoot, I'm still going to eat dinner tonight. It doesn't matter. So, just play a little bit more loose. Play with some more excitement and energy. That's for sure.
Amen. So tell everybody where they can find you and what else you have cooking.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely check me out on Bucs Report. I'll be writing on Carter's Corner once a week, the captain's table, walk the plank kind of thing. That's my article every week. Try to take a little bit more of a fun approach at the game because, people kind of take this stuff seriously sometimes when it's football. It really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Also, check me out at RBLR Sports. I host the Bucs podcast there as well, and at Creative Loafing. I write there as well. I appreciate y'all for having me on. Hopefully we're talking about a Bucs win next week. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
All right, take care, Carter. I feel you on that.
Yes, sir. No,
hell, I'm the same way, guys. I want to be able to talk about a Bucs win. When it's back-to-back losses, I can't do that. James, we've all been through this era where it was like literally loss after loss. I'm like, my God, man. Sometimes I used to go in this game in certain games in a comatose. Like, I already had three bottles in my system already. I'm like, look, that's the only way that will settle me down, because if I see something silly, I'm like, the first thing I'm doing, I go for that. How are you getting paid millions of dollars and this is what you come through? This is it? Millions of dollars. Because look, it's different back in your time, James. The people was getting paid, but in today's game, you step on the field.
Yeah.
So this is why I want the Bucs. I said this earlier, James. I said, if I am Baker right now, your back should feel like it's against the damn wall. And I know he hasn't lost the locker room, but damn it, this is your last shot to become a legit franchise quarterback. If you can't make it with Evans and Godwin, you can't make it anywhere. Now, I get the run game is trash, but you're in a passing league. Pass, damn it. So Baker, I need Baker. If it has to be Baker, you're throwing the ball 40 times, because that's the only way I feel like this Bucs team can get a good win. Because Slick knows already. I've already argued that Bowles ain't gonna change his ways. He's gonna have that stoic. I'm playing zone no matter what, unless he plays aggressive. That I don't see that happening. So Baker's gonna have to throw 40 times, but he's also gonna have to run at least 10 times. I see that.
But AJ, think about this, man. I'm not trying to be funny. Think back to your last couple Super Bowl winners.
Yeah.
They had success running the ball. And even when we were in there, we had success running the ball. It is a pass league.
Yes.
That's because the league is trying to make it more appealing to a younger generation. Those teams that are still having success are finding a way to grind it out a little bit. So we can't totally abandon it, but we have to implement the short passing game through the middle to put pressure on those linebackers and those safeties when they come down in the box. So now our Blazers on the outside, our big play receivers, can make the plays that they're capable of. Because when they hit Mike Evans early last week against the Falcons, I was doing the happy dance around the couch. My son was laughing at me. He thought I was crazy. And then to never really see it again or go back to set that play up again, I was like, those are the plays you mark on the sheet up in the press box and know the timing of when you build to come back to that play. And we never went to it again. We never tested Terrell again. It was just like, yo, what are we doing? Come on, man. Give me something to work with.
I agree. And one play, one play I love that the Bucs were actually having success in the run, but I think it was due to the pass. They were fearing the pass. The HB draw was killing them.
Yeah,
that's what I saw. That's why I say you're right. If you get that passing going, now they can't load the box, and you can set the run game up like that. There might be a situation where you go, yeah, I formation is not going to work this game, but that damn HB draw is surely killing them.
Yeah,
because the Falcons had to honor that the Bucs could pass. That's why I say if the Bucs throw more early, that gets the Bills a little shaky because, like you said, with Milano, I didn't even know Milano was going to be out. Milano is literally the Levante David for the Bills. Him being out hurts a lot. So, and I know the first instinct people are saying, oh, well, the Bills are not good at run defense. Damn that. We're not better. I think they're still better at their run defense than we are our run offense at this point. Pass first and see what happens. Because then if the game goes down later on, if we have our way, then you can wear the defense out by running the ball. Because then they'll be gassed. That's how I feel.
I think there's a lot of things that can be done. I think the issue we've got here as a football team is we're mid-season. We can't completely just take the book and throw it away and bring a new book. That doesn't work. It never really has.
right.
What you can do is you can take your existing plays and edit them or adjust them, or you can add one or two, little different things to add there. But we have seen some things in preseason. We have seen more motion, and we really should be more encouraged to try and take advantage of using those kinds of things, which we haven't seemed to. We seem to keep everything quite simple. It feels like we're coaching not to win. Not to lose, rather than go in for the win. And I feel that the players are playing not to lose. You're jumping back on what Carter was saying, how he felt the team was being a bit disinterested or not really feeling the vibe or what have you. At the end of the day, they're extensions of the coaching staff. And if the coaching staff are saying we're going to be preventive, that sits in and they're like, okay, maybe they don't get pissed off or any flares of emotion come up because they're like, it's okay, next play. And it's a good way to be. But when you're in it for a defense, it can be a really good state of mind. For an offense, you need to be aggressive. You can't lose aggression. You can't play soft. Really in any football, but the offense, you absolutely have to be like, we're going for a touchdown every time, every drive. You've got to have that mindset. You can't go in there going, wow, we didn't get it, so it's okay. We're in the long haul of this game, because you don't know what's going to happen beyond that. You can only control the moment that you're in. And it does feel like, from my perspective, and a few other people have hit on this, that we're setting ourselves up not to lose rather than let's go win.
Agreed.
Yeah, and the last two games, guys, it looked like, oh my God, like especially even coming off the Lions against, coming out of the bye, I was like, where's our energy level? Like, I couldn't believe how lethargic and dead we looked. And Slick, I mean, you just made a point to go, damn, in my head, because they are taking on a whole lot of that Todd Bowles personality right now. Like, no big deal. And it's got to be some piss and vinegar somewhere, man. It's got to be, because they have not looked like they have wanted to turn up and play football at all over the past 2 weeks.
No, agree. And that's where we need that Arians vibe. I missed the reason why it wasn't just because they had personnel. The scheme that they were going matched the energy, going down the field, taking deep shots. As you said, I would have had Evans abuse Jarrell all damn game.
Man.
He was holding him. I'm like you. When I saw that, I'm thinking, James, I'm like, oh, yes. Evans is about to go off today.
That's my fault.
I thought
we're going to have a day.
If they would have done that, Evans would have, no cap here, 200 yards. Because if either you got to pass interference him or he's going to burn him. Jarrell, and even with that.
I thought he was well inside Terrell's head all fucking game until.
Or now you double team him and it opens up for Godwin and Palmer. Exactly. It opens up other people. So you got to utilize that to take advantage of the situation you have. Pretty much the O-line did a good job. They held Grady Jarrett in check. He had a couple of good hustle plays, but he wasn't putting a whole lot of pressure. And the one thing that just killed us too is starting behind the 8 ball so many different times with the different penalties, man. It's like you can't start a drive 1st and 20, man.
Oh no, you cannot. You cannot. And I like that you keep referencing back to the short yardage that can equivalent to short runs, because that's what Brady used to do in New England and with the Bucs. Sometimes those short little passes were basically the equivalence of a run play.
Yeah, it's like 3 yards a pop. It's the same thing. You have to do it and utilize it. In the middle of the field is a good place to do that. You take the linebackers out of it, then you come back in, run a post or something to get back behind them while they come down in that box aggressive, and you eat yard. It doesn't have to be a big play every single time. And then you go to Mike for the home run because you've already set it back up from exposing them earlier. Then they play honest, and then you catch them slipping again.
And Slick said this earlier. When you get in the red zone, you can't have everybody go to the damn end zone. Sometimes, hell, if anything, get a screen going, get a shallow crossing, do something a lot more creative. You see what I'm saying? It's like you're right. And that one of their plays in the red zone, all of them were in the end zone. I'm like, you literally are you're putting the pressure on Baker. Now, there was one play where Baker should have taken off. If Baker runs, I don't think he gets the touchdown, but damn it, he'd be super close. It's that kind of game where you said Canales just has to play to win. If James, I mean, for me, I'm going all out. It's my first year. If anything, I think other organizations and people could respect that. Hey, at least he didn't hold nothing back, because Slick has said it again. When these owners ask you questions in the offseason and you don't have an answer, that's even worse. Well, you had Evans and Godwin. Why didn't you do this? Well, I just thought the run didn't work, Canales. Why did you still do this? You know what? Don't even worry about it. Byron's got a seat right next to you at the bar over there off Del Mabry Highway. You go talk to him. I'm just saying, this is how you walk. This is how you end up in the soup kitchen line.
You sent him to the Wing House bar on Del Mabry, dog. God dang.
Yes. Look, and he needs to stay there. Look, Byron better ever catch me out there, because he ain't gonna like me. I'm like, Byron, I know what you about to do. You gonna go HB counter, huh? I'm just saying, Canales is, as you said, I'm not, but I do want this defense. This defense can be elite, James. You've seen it. If they play more man coverage, usually, as my man Rod Till will say, miracles happen. If you play like that, Vita and these guys will get to them. We have to keep it above.
Lock it up a little bit.
Yeah, we don't have an elite pass rusher. Shaq Barrett is a solid pass rusher, but he's not. I don't say he's elite. JTS, enough said. Vita Vea does his job. Canty is getting better. And shout out to James, because guys, James, if you go check his article, he called Canty to be picked by the Bucs, and Canty is doing a hell of a job. Let me get to that. James, is he meeting your expectations?
Yeah, and especially coming off the injury where he had to miss a couple of games, he's going to be fine. They do have to get some other players around him to help. Shaq is better than average to me.
No, not average, solid.
No, I know what you mean. I mean, he's good, and I'm just saying,
he's good. He's not great.
And coming off the Achilles injury, it's still going to take him a time, I think, to get back to that form. So. If he gets back to that form again, I wanted this to be JTS's year, y'all. I did. I've said it. Y'all go back and look at different articles on Big Game's Pewter Perspective. Y'all might come back alive and like, boy, Big Game, you missed on that one. But there's always hope. I hope for guys to live up to the potential and talent that I see them come into the league with. And sometimes it's just as mental as it is physical when you get into this league to try to become that player, to be, a difference maker. And being a first round pick, there's always pressure on you to step up and go above and beyond. And some guys handle the pressure and make diamonds out of it, and some of them the pipe burst, and it's hard for them to carry, to live up to that height. But Kalijah Cansey's going to be a guy that's going to be good with Vita Vea next to him inside. We get the right stand-up guy outside in this 3-4 defense, and he's going to be a nightmare for people.
I think so.
Yeah, and I just got the sad news, guys. Vita Vea is out. Vita Vea is out, y'all. Damn. But James, you did say something. I know it hurts. It's like, man, that sucks. That's like when you think you're ready for a test and you study that one subject, you think it's geometry, and they go, nah, we're doing algebra. What? Right. You didn't study for that. But I do have faith because in the front line we do have depth. So now with that information being out there, James, who needs to step up for Vita? Who needs to step up?
Games.
I think Golston will have to step up and play a little bit more, and he might have to rotate some things around, pieces in the middle, which he can do. And then
Greg Gaines, because he was a nose tackle for the Rams.
Yeah, that's who I'm thinking. Yeah.
So I think I go with him, Golston, and Cansey as my starters if I was putting up my 3-man line. Rotate Logan all in on four down linemen and rotate at the end.
So if you're okay now guys, we can all agree on this. Load the damn box now. There is no reason to play any kind of zone coverage this game. I want to see Josh and Stephon beat us because James.
No Sean Tucker too, guys.
Who?
No Sean Tucker.
Our running game.
No, but we get to Edmonds, but he's been in the doghouse for a while.
Yeah, now. I like Edmonds. Edmonds got the first on him. But let's get back to this defense, James. Now is the time. If it doesn't work, then Bowles can say, "Look, you see why this shit don't work." He can talk to AJ and say, "AJ, shut your mouth. You don't know what you're talking about. Play man tonight. Make them beat you." Because I'm not gonna lie, and James, because sometimes I used to look at players and I can tell which ones had that heart when they were in a position they like. But when Carlton is in that zone, I see a lot of hesitance. I don't see him as comfortable when he plays man. When he plays man, it's do or die. Either Carlton's gonna get beat like a drum on that play, or he shuts them down. And Stephon, like you said, he's a really good receiver. Elite, I don't know yet. If they can play more man and get aggressive, if I am Bowles now with Vita not being in there, load the box and have the great Antoine who wins on the field take over. What do you think?
Yeah, but I mean, you said right, Davis. Most defensive backs know that you're on that island, and your peers and everybody's there to see it and talk about you. It changes the game. It turns up the heat a little bit more of how you have to perform when you're in that position, playing that style of defense when you play man. So I think it brings out the best in you because at the end of the day, we know these guys are still all very competitive, and they have a spirit about how they want to get things done and how they're going to do it. You said it. There's nothing to lose tonight, man. They need to go out and get this done and play that way and just leave it all out there on the field. And I mean, Orchard Park, New York is not an easy place to play.
Not at all. And I love and I hear they got the best buffalo wings, but today I'm on a buffalo wing strict free diet because I want us to Buffalo Bill them. It rubs the lotion on its skin, or you about to get the holes again. That's how I feel tonight. I want to walk into Buffalo and just take their lunch money. That's what the Bucs need. As you guys said, energy. Get in there and say, you know what, Josh, you ain't shit. You about to have another bad game. Because believe it or not, because I know we're on time, but this is my personal opinion, Jen. It's going to be like this. If the Bucs come in there and they establish that pass like they should, for me, percentage-wise, if the Bucs do between 60 to 65% passing and run with that 35 is effective, I see the Bucs walking away with the win. And if they now, and I'm going to go even further. This is a hot take. If the Bucs play man 70% of the time, they blow out the Bills. You know why I say that? Because besides Stephon Diggs, I don't believe in the other guy. He ain't what Godwin is to parallel. They will blow them out. But I will say this: if the Bucs try to establish a run early and it fails, they're going to get their ass kicked. It's going to be a long night because then Baker's going to play the hero. And when they become too one-dimensional, Canales, I don't see him calling the right plays. So if they pass 65%, 60 to 65, they're going to win this game. If they play man, they're going to blow them out. But that's just me. How do you feel?
You trust Baker throwing the ball 65% of the time?
The reason why I trust him because there's Mike Evans, there's Chris Godwin, there's Trey Palmer. And the simple fact that their linebacking core is not as strength anymore. Milano is not only the heart and soul, but he's really good. So he knows where people are positioned. If they use Palmer the right way, you can get away with that. And the reason why I say him passing, because as you said earlier, what if Baker uses his feet? If Baker uses his feet a couple times, now the defense of the Bills are going to be frustrated because now it's We have to honor him. That's why I say that, because with the passing game, with the receivers we have, you can't assume. With the run game, you know we can assume. Oh, when we line up the run, I guarantee defenses go, all right, guys, he going to be right here. We know Rashad can't do it. As you said, it was a very I like what you said. Rachaad White is not Mike Allstott. That's real, because Mike Allstott and them spoiled me. I like seeing people run through somebody.
They did, and even a small running back like Warwick Dunn back in the day made things happen. He had a Cadillac. I mean, dude, we've had different running backs that have come through and been like, wow.
Doug Martin did it.
Yeah, I mean, what was his nickname? The
muscle hamster.
The muscle hamster, dude. That was the funny. I mean, I love Doug Martin at Boise State. I hate Boise State, but I like him as a running back. It was awesome. He was a great fit. Rachaad White is he's going to be a great back in a third down capacity. I just don't think he's a first and second down running back right now.
You are 100%.
That's what I'm saying. Like, going into the year, I was like, okay, I like it. We need a running back. And everybody's like, man, Big Game, you crazy. We don't need to spend money on a running back. I said, guys, we need something else. We need Rachaad White on third downs. And now, as I watch the games, that big ass "I told you so" sign just pops up every time. I'm like, I tried to tell you.
Oh, I'll make it bigger for you.
I think it's because he won the job as a starter last year, so people just thought he was just going to take that and it was going to be the thing. But you don't always get that. It's a very small sample size done at a very small part of the season, so you can't really. I think that's what a lot of fans were hoping, was he's just going to take what he did last season and then kind of be the guy. So there is caution to the way you throw caution. Thing is, running backs aren't even expensive anymore. Their price is so cheap.
That part, you could have still gone and gotten a decent running back for a fraction of the price of what they used to hit the market for.
Kareem Hunt was
complimentary backfield.
Mm-hmm.
The simple fact that Kareem Hunt is not on this squad is a disrespect. My ass would have been calling him right now. I don't
know if he could come because he knows the scheme of the Browns.
Look, with this type of team, the Bucs it's not like the Bucs. We've said this already. The NFC is still very depleted. No matter what people tell you, they could do this. Either way, after this game, put it this way: if the Bucs running backs can't get over 70 yards tonight, I'm making that call. Hey guys, we need to get another running back if we're really serious of being playoff contenders. Because if not, you're pretending. You're lying to yourself. James just said it, and they owe James an apology. You guys owe Big James Canada, BG James Canada, an apology, because I agree with him. We needed a better back. You know why people were so stuck on Rachaad White? That damn game in another continent in Munich. That one game we did a little stiff arm. We all got excited, including myself. But James, you're right, and I'm a running back. Even I was like, guys, we could get somebody else. We need a true guy, because he's not it.
And think about it, most of the good teams, they have two guys that go between at the running back position. Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, that's a good combination in Atlanta. You know, you have those two pieces that you have to work because, and think about it, when Cincinnati had Piron and Mixon, you know what I mean? Like, you need two pieces. Like Dallas, when they had Ezekiel Elliott and Pollard, you know, and believe it or not, people laughed at me. I said Ezekiel Elliott would have been a good fit for the Buccaneers because you could have gotten him for the cheap. He could have been your first and second down back, short yardage back, straight downhill. Zeke still has that in him. And then you bring Rashard in to do what he needs to do. And I hate saying that about anybody that played for the Cowboys because I can't stand their ass.
I know. I can't stand Zeke is one of those people. I haven't liked Zeke since Ohio State. Just he's that guy where it's like, bro, you had a good line. See, I love backs like I said, Allstott and those guys. To me, they were the kind of backs where they made a hole with or without a line. We know this. Right. That's why, to me, Sweetness is the greatest. Sweetness will run over his damn lineman if you was in his way. He'd be like, look, man, get out the way. But I agree with what you're saying. But I know, guys, look, because we're going to get ready, because I know everybody got to get in their zone. But let's get our final thoughts and takes. I want to start with you, James, because you are our host. You know, you are a guest, and you always tell it how it is. What is your expectations and outcome of tonight for the Bucs?
Well, I'm just going to say it first and foremost, just like this. If we cannot play a game with way less penalties, I'm still going to say don't totally abandon the run, but find more creative ways, utilize that draw a little bit more, counter, trap, something just to get things established. We will leave here disappointed. and there's got to be way more energy on both sides of the ball because it's just been the team has been flat the last 2 weeks, and you cannot go into a place like Buffalo with the Bills Mafia going crazy and not have energy to match it. And the thing is, when you have that energy, it's contagious. Everyone else on the field picks up on it. And you want to contribute to that energy because you don't want to be the one part that lets everyone down. So play high energy, penalty free, give Baker time to throw the ball, but also Canales run Baker a few times this game.
Spoken from a true man who know the game. James, please tell everybody where we can find you and what you got cooking as well.
Hey, please tune in to BGSE Network on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, or X now, you like to call it. You can catch Game's Beauty Perspective, where I drop my gems and nuggets on what I think the Buccaneers should do. And also Big Game Sports Buzz with me and my co-host Jay Stoggs, talking everything sports from the perspective of the professional athlete and the sports fanatic.
My man, appreciate you, James. As always, take care of yourself and enjoy the game tonight, hopefully. And go Bucs!
Go Bucs! Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Slick, I'll just say this. I told you already. The Bucs pass 65% of the time. Baker can use his legs. The Bucs will win the game. And if they play, and like I said, if they do that and the Bucs play the defense that they normally do, I would say the Bucs would win by a field goal. But if they play man, they could blow them out, because when you take away Stephon Diggs, now Stephon Diggs is just the AFC Metcalf. When he doesn't get his way, he blows up. But if the Bucs try to rely on this run and it's not successful early, and we get down and we play zone too much, the Bucs gonna get their ass whooped. We might see.
I think that is the combination there, AJ. You nailed it. There's a zone and heavy zone and heavy run will lose them the game.
Yes.
Now I'm a zone person, so zone's all my stick. But I know a team when it's better at running. Here's my thing. You're gonna throw some zone in there because you have to mix it up. But I would go 25% zone, just to sprinkle it in here and there. Maybe you put it in your third down package. Maybe you put it your third and long package. Maybe you put it here, just here and there as a second hitter almost. Yeah. When you're trying to scheme certain things to give the elite, or maybe you do plays that like here's one for you. I don't coach zone, but do you know what my guys are reading next year? They're reading the man. We're playing. I call it man and less.
Splat out.
So what they're going to do, because the reason we got beaten coverage a lot was because our guys were just staring at quarterbacks, hoping they underthrow it and they can get that nice little pick underneath. But what happens is they lose their step on their guy because they're not following a fucking guy anymore. They're watching a quarterback. We call it quarterback watching. It's probably used it over there as well. And the ball gets slightly overthrown over their head, and the guy runs it in for a touchdown or a deep pass, right? So what I've decided to do is I said you're going to play man unless, and that unless is if he breaks in, he breaks out. In other words, your target turns away from you. Your target's going to be the leveraged hip. If that target moves away from you, as in he goes left or right, or it turns around, now you're no longer in man. You go back to zone. Now you look at what number 2's doing. What's number 2 doing? If number 2's not there, let's say there's only one wide receiver on that side. Now you're going to go to your landmark and read the quarterback. That's fine. That's how I want to play zone this year. And I think the Buccaneers can show play zone as a man, because eventually all coverage becomes man coverage. Eventually, right? You play cover free, and you've got the deep third on the right hand side, and the right hand wide receiver is streaking up the field. You're playing man coverage on it.
Exactly. See, guys, this is why for any you new Buck people out there, please check out Coach Slick. He's a great defensive-minded coach and just a good coach in general. So check him out. So he knows what he's talking about. Now, for me, I'm going to head up. I'm out of here, guys. But again, it's always a pleasure to be at the Bucs Report, the pregame, the aftermath 102.9, the game, Broad Street South Radio. Please spread the word. And as me, you can check me out on my YouTube channel. It's about Buck in Time. I give you the fast, few minutes, sound bites. And then, of course, go to my Instagram and check out the link and check out the merchandise. But as always, go Bucs. Let's get this damn win tonight. Take care, my man.
Take care, everyone. I'll catch you soon.
Catch you soon.
Okay, guys, that is the end of the show. Catch me in the post game. I'll be putting up my halftime report, and then I'll be doing my full-time report, and then I'll be doing the post game show within 10 to 15 minutes after the game has been called, so you can vent your frustrations, sing your hallelujahs, curse the coaching staff, praise the coaching staff, praise the players, curse the players, however you want to do it, depending on how this bad boy rolls out. But your Buccaneers are up against the Buffalo Bills, and we expect to win because we need a win, because we do not, and in my words, the players, this is what I would say if I was the head coach. Do you want the difficult road, or do you want the easy road? Because the difficult road is going to be you praying for other teams to lose. You're going to be praying for Atlanta to lose. You're going to be relying on other outcomes. Or do you want to be masters of your own destiny? If you want to be a master of your destiny, you win today. You go out there, you perform, you get the job done, and we go the fuck back home. And we get a mini bye. We get ourselves rested, and we go to the next game. Bucs on me, Bucs on free. 1, 2, 3. Go Bucs.